you really surrendered on the twin flame journey? My name is Susie, and I'm a certified twin flame ascension coach, and we are going to talk about whether you are really surrendered, numbed out on your twin flame journey, or experiencing a lot of attachment. Okay, so let's talk about attachment first. So if you are in this vibration of attachment, you'll notice that you feel worried and anxious about your twin flame dynamic. There might be some fears there that they could reject or abandon you, or that it won't work out somehow. If you're feeling attached, you might have a hard time, like you might be very fixated on your twin flame. You know, you might even categorize it as an obsession, right? If you are attached, like there's a underlying like current of like fear and worry there, right? To whatever degree. Okay, attachment does not feel peaceful. You're not like really connected to your joy, to feeling fulfilled within. You might be kind of ruminating on some like negative emotions regarding your twin flame. That's kind of where attachment lies, right? Now, being surrendered, okay, so we're going to talk about surrendered next. Surrendered feels peaceful, okay? As you surrender, you trust the process of manifesting your union, right? You're trusting the healing process and you're all in on it, right? A state of surrender is one where you desire your twin flame, right? But you're not, you don't feel like you lack your twin flame, right? There's desire, but there's not lack when you're surrendered, right? There's joy within. You are feeling like in tune with the universe. Things are flowing, but at the same time, you're still feeling your feelings, right? Surrender doesn't mean you feel good all the time. Your foundation overall should feel good, but surrendered means you're feeling your emotions. So you might still experience upsets with your twin flame, like, frustrations or blocks, but you work through them, right? You don't avoid them, or you don't like ruminate about them, okay? You just move through them and you trust the process of moving through them, okay? Now, being numbed out, this one's tricky. If you're numbed out, it's hard for people to acknowledge that they're numbed out, okay? But the first thing I see when people are numbed out is, one, they think everything's fine. A lot of times if you're numbed out, you think everything's fine. And that's just kind of the coping mechanism that you've developed on some level to deal with twin flame separation, right? You're like, everything's okay. It's not a big deal. Numbed out at the core doesn't feel peaceful. It just kind of feels like whatever, right? There's a disconnection to the feeling of your twin flame dynamic. Numbed out is kind of like the shrug of the shoulders, right? It's like saying you don't need to do any work, basically, because it's fine. You're in separation, but I'm okay with it, right? Like that's what numbed out is, right? Because in spiritual truth, nobody really, truly, deeply feels good being in twin flame separation. Like everybody has a desire deep down to like release separation and not be in that space, right? Like you're designed to be with your twin flame. So numbed out isn't going to feel peaceful. Okay, it's going to feel all nothing, like kind of hard to connect to your emotions. If you do feel big emotions, like there's kind of a spiritual bypassing there. Like you're avoiding it, right? You're not really moving through it completely, and healing the root of it. You're just kind of like, oh, I'm not going to feel this right now. Like I just choose to think happy thoughts, or like, oh, that's not really a problem. There's an avoidance of the actual spiritual work when you're numbed out. Alternatively, numbed out can look like being super, super high and like, doing all these meditations and like receiving all this energy healing and thinking you feel so good and everything's great in the 5D or whatever, but actually when you're just present with your earthly self and earthly body, like, you don't feel good, right? Like, sometimes people use spiritual tools to numb out and go like really high and that's a form of numbing out too. Okay, so really take this and reflect on it and see like where you are numbed out, where you are attached, and where you are surrendered, right? Because you can be experiencing all three in different places, and the goal is you want to come to a place where you're completely surrendered, right? Because that is in the flow of love, of the universe, right? So if you feel you are struggling with this or you're not sure, you can book a consultation with me in the description below. Otherwise, I'm so happy to see you and share with you, and I'll see you next time.